The topic of this video is not surprising, considering that I reported Serbian military for illegal arms trade, both to state institutions and the international institutions. For now, only to United States Federal Department of Justice, which can be found here on my channel. If you we need to do this to close the window as soon as I don't need it, because I don't have enough memory on this machine. So if I add DOJ, sorry, if I search for DOJ, I have here videos related to that report. So and I also did the same thing, but I reported it to FBI. First report was actually, I think, officially to the Supreme Cassation Court of Serbia. President of the court responded, although that was not his his job, and he said he doesn't know what I'm talking about. I mean, really? Yeah, right. He thinks that he hopes that if he's retired, he cannot be charged with any crime, but I don't know about that. So let's see, what was the date. I first reported that I'm notified them that I'm preparing a report on international organized crime. Then they ignored me. And on top of that, YouTube removed video which was part of that report, proving that it's controlled by federal US institutions, probably intelligence or similar. So this was June 15th. Yeah, it was like 10 days after the first one, right? Yeah. So considering how popular this topic is, I mean, all the European major news outlets wrote about this, Deutsche Welle and so on, and nobody's watching this. I mean, come on. So Google is, or YouTube, whatever, is blocking me brutally. Facebook too. Facebook maybe maybe I can say that they're probably doing this, that Facebook is doing this more brutally than the YouTube, because Facebook blocked me, shadow banned me in real time, which was of course in the context of international organized crime. This is on my channel. So back to the topic. So I wrote to the Ministry of Interior Office for actual administration for administrative affairs. This is their name. So first two times was on ground laws. It was in June and July 2019. This is when I was instructed by the police to hand to give them my grandfather's, actually my father's gun, because my father died 6 months before that. So so I asked why I need to go and pass an exam for carrying having a gun. Arms, not carrying, but even possessing a gun, arms. So they first they haven't stated when I sent this email, which is mandatory, and they stated some facts from the law on guns and ammunition. So it was created after public discussions of citizens, interested citizens, and based on the suggestions and comments of state institutions. They didn't say which state institutions. So I asked why I need to give them the gun when this doesn't apply for the rest of my property. I know, like car, tractor, and so on and so on. So they gave me some regular stuff. So the answer here why I need to go and pass that exam on possessing guns or arms, even if I was in the army. So if I wasn't capable of carrying or using guns, well, I wouldn't be in the army. So they are just stating this part of the law, invoking this part of the law. And that only people who were in state institutions like police officers, military in reserve, and so on and so on, they don't need to pass this exam. Okay, so first thing to notice here is that there's no signature of the person who is in charge, and if I view entire message, nothing changes. So this is a clear indicator that they are doing something illegal when they don't want to sign. Okay, I just forwarded this to my brother. I don't know why. Yeah, because he's also sort of owner of that gun. Half is mine, half is his. Anyway, so So this is one of the most popular guns in former Yugoslavia, I think. Was one of the most popular guns. Its nickname was Long Nine, whatever that means. So I then answered their email. Actually, I asked, where can I find the transcripts or recordings on those public discussions regarding new gun laws and ammunition laws, and those comments and suggestions in written form, because those things must be documented, and I have a right to access them. Freedom of Information Act. So detailed reasons for this law must be publicly known for every law. Otherwise, this law is illegal or is created by committing a fraud. And also, I'm especially interested who suggested the parts of the law that I needed explanation, for which I needed explanation. Was it a person, group, and so on and so on? So what's the right word? I cannot remember. I need to see here. Proposal. Okay. Proposal. So proposal of the law must be created, and then it goes to the discussion in the parliament. So who asked for changing of that law, because it was changed, as they noted, in 2015, March 5th, March 2015. It was in power. I think this is the right term. So both parts of the law on which I requested the explanation, in my opinion, they are inconsistent. And then I explained that I went to the training for using guns in the army, and this is not a science. It's rubbish. And so on, that there are no people who went to the army, used guns, and they forgot to use it. Thus, police officer and military have regularly checkups on how to use guns, and so on and so on. And again, passing this exam can be mandatory only for people who are not in the army, because since 2000, after the fall of Milosevic, there was a new law, so you could serve in the army by serving in some state institutions. I don't remember now what was the exact name of that option. I cannot remember. Anyways, so there was that option that you can serve in some state institution, like a hospital, so you don't carry a gun. And I called it Army for Girls. I hope nobody will sue me, nobody from those pieces of shit from me too. So I'm calling them pieces of shit because they haven't supported any of the victims of Jeffrey Epstein, none of them, and they directly notified Maria Farmer, the most important witness. Now I'm going off topic. The most important witness of Jeffrey Epstein scandal, the worst scandal to hit humankind. So they notified Maria Farmer that they are not welcome into none of the victims of Jeffrey Epstein are welcome in Me Too movement, and I think that this B production movie actress Rosanna Arquette, I think that she said that. Maria Farmer stated that in multiple interviews. One of them is interview with that lady Siegel, Tatiana Siegel from Ankler. I think she is also in Variety. She's an editor. So back to the topic. I had a very specific situation in the army because I had problems with my lungs. So I haven't done what doctors suggested to because the problem was that the places where we slept were never there was no ventilation, so there was no air conditioning. It was extremely unhealthy to sleep there, and I was always sleeping with my window open, so I started choking basically. So I thought I have, I don't know, some disease like asthma or similar, but it was because I had major problems with my lungs when I was a baby. I almost died multiple times. So again, so I risked to probably have asthma if I stay in the army. But I stayed there. I didn't do what my doctor suggested. So I stated here I will never go to that exam. That's out of question, and that this law exists just to take money from the citizens. There are no real reasons for that, and so on and so on. Because if there are real reasons, they will state them they will give those reasons in their answer, and you will see in their next answer what happened. So so don't expect that I believe you, that some, what's the right word? Some people had a discussion and they created that law without any written traces. Okay, so so it even threatened here, if they don't send me what I requested, so proofs about that law, about creating that law, I will report them for the fraud. And I also noted here that I brought down several different state laws which were created by committing a fraud, so illegal laws. so I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so their next answer is very, very extremely interesting. So this is the Ministry of Interior. And again, no signature of people of person in charge, which one more time is a clear indicator that they are doing something illegal, which they are which is the case. So regarding my questions that I sent again via email, they are notifying me that those questions are not, they are not in charge to answer those questions. And of course I answered, and I sent them here a screenshot because they are not using encryption, which is mandatory. Everyone can see this. I mean, I don't care if someone sees this, but I want them to follow the law, because I mean, they're police officers. So if they don't follow the law, what about other people? Again, so I asked 3 questions. So first, I notified them that according to the law, they need to send me a encrypted message. Second, also according to the law, they need to direct me to a person who's in charge about answering those questions I asked. So they haven't stated who is in charge, if they are not in charge, but they are in charge. They are in charge of those laws to apply those laws on guns and ammunition, and I really cannot believe that they don't know about on how these laws are created. And of course, we'll propose them. So yeah, so police internal affairs in Belgrade, so headquarters, told me that, because I first called them, that these guys, so administration for administrative affairs, that they are in charge for these laws. And once again, I notified them that if there is no common sense explanation for this law or decision of the court, judge, jury and so on, that law, such a law or decision is illegal and must be overturned. And I again asked for the law who states the opposite. Of course, they never answered. And the third answer is in July 2021, and I will show what they were referring to, because they haven't stated which email is in question. Again, no DA person in charge, so there must be signature of person in charge and the seal. If they don't have this encryption thing. So they stated here regarding my, this was email, okay, they stated here yeah, they stated that they actually was asking about citizenship and what's this, place of living, but permanent residence, okay, and IDs, because this is also their the area which is their responsibility. So they pretend I never wrote these previous emails, and as you can see, some Ministry of Internal Affairs, Direction of Police. I don't know how to translate this directly. Department of, okay, that's strange. So Department of Police Department, what's the, okay, administration for administrative affairs. So the logo is the same. Okay, let's see if Ministry of Interior, so the same thing, I think that only the caps are different. Police Department, Administration for Administrative Affairs, so the same thing. So they're just pretending I asked something from the other area that they're in charge of, and I will show now what I asked. So I'll just switch this. And one more time, this was July 15th of July 2021, and the only time I addressed them directly. So there are a lot of emails I sent them, but the only time I addressed them directly after this thing with gun laws is in this email. I'm trying to open it, somehow it cannot be loaded. Yeah, it's here. So this is an email, and since this is expanded, it's there here. They're also here in the list of recipients, and so on and so on. So since the mail was too long, I needed to put it within the RTF document, and I sent that, as can be seen here. There are a lot of recipients. I needed to divide it into two because of bulk mail filter in the email server. Okay, so if I search here for what? Okay, so administration for administrative affairs of Ministry of Interior, and I gave here their email. I mean, So I asked them first, are you the ones who are giving permanent citizenship or citizenship to monsters, dumb, stinky, I don't know how to translate this. Okay, let's just pick up the whole thing and let's see what will happen. Are the ones who give citizenship to dull, smelly beasts, sloppy milogor. Sloppy, I don't know if this is correct term. Metil is the disease usually of sheeps. They just feel down and eventually they die. Let's see if flukes. Okay. So when you say to someone that has flukes, it means that this person is boring, stupid, not active, inactive, doesn't care about anything, and so on and so on. So they translated this as sloppy. Well, sort of makes sense. Milogor means Montenegrins. So people from Montenegro, they were called before Serbs from Montenegro, but they are now Montenegrins. So they are nation quoted, created by communist monsters during post-Second World War era in Yugoslavia, former Yugoslavia. And you are turning Serbia into Bogota. So they're basically importing all the criminals from all the other former Yugoslavia states and creating Serbia, turning Serbia into Bogota. So I asked if they are the ones, they are the ones, they are in charge of giving citizenships. So they are the most responsible. The other ones, so no, this is wrong, this is incorrect. So you owe me answer regarding the weapons and I would like to give it. Okay, I was referring to those answers. They to those questions they haven't answered regarding their regarding gun laws. And I also asked for permission to carry a gun because I'm a witness of international organized crime and none of the state institutions want to protect me. The guy threatened me. I received death threats. There is an email. There is a video here on my channel about that. Just look for death threats. None of the prosecution officers did anything. Together with a special unit of prosecution for high-tech crime. Okay, so this is basically it. So they are simply ignoring me, and the commander of the police department of Smederevo, so not the commissioner but commander. I don't know if this exists in other countries. So he is in charge. I had a meeting with him. So I haven't asked for that meeting. The guy from Internal Affairs, the local police officer from Internal Affairs from that department, simply wanted to get rid of me, and he managed that meeting. And the commander of the police told me that I can carry a gun if I receive death threats, and I receive them. But okay, I will open the that video. So death threats. Come on. So death threats. I don't know if these death threats are shown here. That guy basically told me, I mean, he's working for intelligence. He probably did something wrong and they recruited him to work for them or for the police. And so, yeah, here it is. So I received those death threats when I created video. I called BBC and I reported the guy who was at that time director of state intelligence. So that guy overlord first said that I'm a moron, something like that. And then he stated, I won't live long and I won't survive. So these are direct death threats, and they did nothing. So you just saw how many videos are on that matter. So commander of the police, so not a regular police officer, but the commander told me that I have full right according to the law to carry a gun if I receive death threats. So since I'm the witness of international organized crime, witness on 2 counts. Yeah, that's correct. So I'm witness on 2 counts. Interpol is still covering up monstrous murders of 3 members of my family. It goes through some important politician. So that monster who murdered my family have her close cousins are friends with politician who convinced Slobodan Milosevic to surrender to Hague, and for that arrest the one who was in charge was ambassador of United States at that time, so William Dale Montgomery. And this is the reason why they are covering this for so long. So they don't want to be mentioned because these are monstrous murders. She poisoned 3 members of my family, father, grandfather, grandmother, for years, one by one. She has the full spectrum of dark tetrad or tetrate. Check out in on YouTube or in Google on the web what that means. So dark tetrad psychology. So sadism, psychopathy, narcissism, Machiavellism. I have unfortunately I haven't translated all those none of those videos, but if you know Serbian and you know someone who knows Serbian, you can see you can hear from her statements during the phone calls. I talked to her, I collected a lot of evidence that she has full spectrum of dark tetrad. So those crimes are so horrific that none of these pieces of shit from foreign embassies want to be mentioned by any means in relation to them. So this is why they are doing this. But now, fortunately, they have a lot of on their own problems. A lot of countries, even Russia, now officially Russia is involved in the. So this is official in Jeffrey Epstein scandal. So they have their own problem, and they will need to rethink on what they are doing. So I covered this. Okay, let's see if I missed something. I started something, but I now lost the initial thought. I lost the track, so I was talking about why this is happening, who is involved, and in the end I want to mention something. I want to refer to something that's basically international, and that has to do with, although this is related to the United States, but it's basically international, given that it is a part of Jeffrey Epstein scandal, and this is something Maria Farmer mentioned within Ankler interview. So this is that interview podcast with one of the top journalists covering the Hollywood. So in this interview, Maria Farmer, the most important witness of Jeffrey Epstein scandal, considering that he reported both Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, sorry, I think this, or Ghislaine, whatever. She reported them to FBI in 1996, and they did nothing. And on top of that, they allowed Ghislaine Maxwell to harass her for I don't know, like 15 years. So last time she called to intimidate Maria Farmer was, I think, in 2015. So basically she was actively involved in that operation till 2015, not till 2005, like federal prosecution claims. So in this interview, Maria Farmer claims that she called them henchmen. So henchmen of the owner of Victoria's Secret, Leslie Wexner. They are carrying assault rifles on his property. So assault rifles, not any rifles, but assault rifles. So I would really like to know what is the law that enabled them to do so. I would really like to know. So because he's not, that's not a state institution. I mean, he's a guy selling the lingerie. What's the right pronunciation? So lingerie. Okay, I was close. Pronunciation. Lingerie. Okay. I mean, this is the guy who was selling. He stepped down. Lingerie. So I know why he's so important to have his guards carrying assault rifles. So this will be the perfect place to finish this. If I went off the track, it's because I'm extremely tired. So sorry about that. I hope that I covered everything relevant in this within this topic. So I'll create another video if there is a need on this topic. So gun control and gun laws.